The actor with the face of Romeo and the eyes of a serial killer, a favorite of Christopher Nolan and Danny Boyle, a Hollywood star and an art house darling, is none other than Cillian Murphy. He's a uniquely versatile actor who can seamlessly transition between genres, playing roles ranging from psychopaths to loving sons, brutal gangsters to timid women. In this video, we'll trace his creative journey and discover the extent of his transformative abilities. Why did he land the lead role in Oppenheimer, and how accurate is the meme about a disappointed Cillian Murphy?
That's easy enough for you to say, sitting pretty as you are, man. What?
Cillian was born in Ireland into a family of educators. His mother taught French, and Murphy, in addition to his native English and Irish, is fluent in French.
Je m'appelle Thomas Shelby, j'ai réservé une salle de réunion.
In his youth, Cillian aspired to become a rock star and played in several bands with his brother. However, his dream of becoming a musician and his attempts to study law were never realized. Murphy discovered the world of acting, and at the age of 20, he made his theatrical debut in a production of Enda Walsh's play Disco Pigs, a drama about coming of age and sexual awakening. The production achieved resounding success worldwide, and in 2001, Cillian reprised his role as the character known as Pig in the screen adaptation. It was here that one could already observe Murphy's ability to juxtapose the incompatible, such as an explicit, almost pornographic monologue, which ceases to be vulgar when delivered by an innocent teenager.
No pig can run down a one. And we move. And all is soft, and warm, and wet. And the two well-lasting is sex.
It was in Disco Pigs that Danny Boyle noticed him and offered him the lead role in the post-apocalyptic horror film 28 Days Later, a movie that introduced fast zombies and revitalized the nearly forgotten genre. Jim, a simple courier, wakes up in a hospital to find that he has missed the initial wave of a virus outbreak that has decimated humanity. However, it's all the more terrifying to witness how his character, typically calm and kind, succumbs to rage in the climactic scene, momentarily becoming indistinguishable from the infected. The film has two endings, and the actor himself has stated that he prefers the tragic one that completes his character's story. For his roles in independent Irish films, critics at one point began to call Cillian Murphy the new Colin Farrell. The highlight of this period in his career is the Cannes-winning film The Wind That Shakes the Barley, a classic by Ken Loach. The film employs two primary colors, with green symbolizing Ireland and peace, and brown representing war. This historical drama delves into the story of how an enemy invaded your country and how a loved one becomes your enemy. The Irish War of Independence, followed by the Civil War, is intricately woven into the fates and relationships of two brothers, Teddy and Damien, akin to Cain and Abel. The sympathies of the British director initially lie with all the Irish under British oppression, but later, they shift towards Damien, a member of the Irish nationalist organization IRA.
Listen, that is not my responsibility. I'm just a soldier sent by my government.
Your government, which suppresses our parliament, which bans our paper, your presence here is a crime, a foreign occupation.
In 2005, Cillian Murphy's Hollywood journey began as he auditioned for the role of Batman in Christopher Nolan's reboot.
Who was with Falcone at the docks?
He wasn't right for that part in the way that Christian was. But the performance was incredible, and everybody took huge notice of it while we were shooting it and while we watched the tests.
Joe murdered my parents, and they deserve...
Don't pretend you wanted to do this for them.
His auditions left such an impression on Nolan that Murphy became the director's favorite and the first actor in the DC universe whose villain appeared in 3 consecutive films. His character, Jonathan Crane, appears to be a respectable doctor, but in reality, he's a true psychopath. Under the guise of Scarecrow, he uses toxic substances to induce fear and panic in his enemies. Throughout his career, Murphy has portrayed only 2 true villains, Scarecrow and Jackson Ripner in Red Eye, a thriller directed by Wes Craven, the legendary creator of the Scream horror franchise. Almost the entire film takes place in the claustrophobic space of an airplane, and Craven creates tension primarily through close-ups, in which Murphy's expressions and eyes are particularly expressive. Murphy's deep blue eyes are his trademark, so the director's decision in the thriller Peacock to make the actor wear brown contact lenses, rendering him unrecognizable, is especially unexpected. His character, John, is introverted, clumsy, and physically handicapped. He rides a bicycle, is afraid to touch his mother's car, purses his lips, and always looks downward. But his alter ego, Emma, is determined and strong-willed, unafraid to take the wheel, quickly making friends with neighbors, and capable of anything to achieve her goal. To portray a person with dissociative identity disorder, Cillian Murphy rehearsed extensively and sought unique characteristics for each of the characters.
Tell me why you think about shoulders dropped or up. I mean, the kind of, you know, that's shoulders up, and that's more like tense. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the hands came like that, so it's kind of, but then you can also have
Remarkable skill in physical transformation, posture, gait, and gaze can be seen in this disorienting scene where Murphy plays a man who sees himself as a woman, one of the personalities within the man. In his career, the actor also took on another female role, that of the indomitable and brave Patricia Kitten Braden in the comedy drama Breakfast on Pluto. Fearing that he would soon outgrow this character, Cillian pursued the director for 3 years until he finally decided to make a film on the complex topic of transgender identity and IRA activities. Even here, Cillian transforms unrecognizably, from his gait to his vocal tone.
Oh, and you can call me Kitten, Father. Kitten? Yes, Patrick Kitten Braden, after saying kitten.
Despite playing a woman for 95% of his screen time, Cillian Murphy was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Comedy or Musical. Cillian Murphy relishes the challenges that directors and roles present to him. As a vegetarian, he learned to butcher a pig convincingly to portray a butcher in The Girl with a Pearl Earring. During the filming of Sunshine by Danny Boyle, the actor was suspended in a spacesuit on a wire, sometimes upside down, to capture genuine sweat and labored breathing through the camera in the helmet. And in Dunkirk, he genuinely found himself alone on an overturned ship hull in the open sea. Fully immersing himself in roles, Murphy remains quite reserved in ordinary life. He's not very fond of giving interviews, which is why there are numerous memes about his bored expression while waiting for questions from journalists. He didn't even appear on any talk shows until 2010.
Cillian, this is your, as I understand, your first ever live television interview.
Yeah, TV, Virgin, I guess.
In 2013, Cillian Murphy made his television debut, which brought him a new wave of popularity. Director Stephen Knight initially considered casting Jason Statham as the leader of the criminal gang, the Peaky Blinders, as he physically resembled a Birmingham gangster more. However, the choice eventually fell on Murphy, and the show's creators made the right decision. The series ran for 6 seasons, received the Otto Award, enthusiastic critical reviews, and a million-strong fan base, turning Thomas Shelby into a meme hero and dissecting his monologues into quotes.
Everyone's a whole, Christ. We just sell different parts of ourselves.
Tommy is the undisputed leader of the gang. He's smart, charismatic, and always holds an ace up his sleeve. He takes care of his family and friends and tries to avoid unnecessary casualties. At the same time, Thomas is scarred by World War I and suffers from PTSD. He's a loner, secretive, and sees nothing wrong with illegal bookmaking and the smuggling of alcohol, drugs, and weapons. Murphy brought to the screen the image of a criminal genius in the vein of Professor Moriarty, but at the same time, a noble outlaw, somewhat like Robin Hood. The role of an honest bandit allowed the actor to showcase his strongest attributes: self-confidence that radiates from his open face and deep blue eyes, and negative charisma, the inner darkness that has led him to appear in so many thrillers and dramas in his filmography. And now, in 2023, it's Cillian Murphy's moment of stardom. After a series of supporting roles in blockbusters and lead roles in less conspicuous films, Cillian starred in one of the year's major premieres, Oppenheimer. To help the actor better understand the character, Nolan wrote the script from a first-person perspective, and Cillian Murphy, with his ambivalent appearance, became the perfect choice for the complex figure of Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb. An ambitious scientist who, on one hand, created a weapon of mass destruction, but on the other hand, carried the moral responsibility for his terrifying invention.
We think there's a chance that when we push that button, we destroy the world. Nothing in our research over 3 years supports that conclusion, except it's the most remote.
Throughout his career, it seems that Cillian Murphy has not appeared in a single bad project. In his filmography, there are no films with ratings below 6 points, and he always carefully selects characters and directors. there's no doubt that there will be many more significant and intriguing roles in his career, where Murphy will bring his talent and charisma. And no viewer can resist his bottomless blue eyes. At the end, I want to say that I took the idea and script for this video from the Kino Poesque YouTube channel. I really enjoyed their film analysis, so I wanted to adapt their videos for an English-speaking audience.